Hi y'all! Today I want to go over the 10 essentials that you need to have with you when hiking. In addition to that, I'm going to give you a few tips and other items that you should also bring to stay safe on the trail. This information I have accumulated from doing not only a ton of research, which I do have some credible sources that come from the National Park Service, which I will include in the description below. I do have hundreds of miles of hiking experience and backpacking experience in all types of terrain and all types of weather. I feel like it is my hiker responsibility to put this information out there once again. And to a lot of hikers, it may seem like it's sort of a given, but I'm amazed still, even in 2018, how many people go out for a hike without a backpack, without water, so without anything. As someone who does a lot of hiking and backpacking, and I put it on YouTube and share it, especially with the fact that I share a lot of solo backpacking and solo hiking videos, I felt like the responsible thing to do is to make sure that I'm also giving you all this information as well, because this is something that I'm very passionate about, and I carry all of these items with me no matter whether I'm going out for just a couple of miles or whether I'm going out for an all-day hike. So think of this as hiking insurance, something that you need to help you stay safe on the trail. So let's get into it. Number one is navigation. Navigation includes a map and a compass, as well as, if you can afford it, a GPS system. Satellite GPS locator systems like SpotGen or the Garmin InReach. Now those are pricier items. They can run anywhere from like $200 to $500, and then there is a monthly service charge that you do have to pay to utilize the service. Carry a good map, a topographic map that has landmark locations, mileage. I think the National Geographic puts out a lot of really great maps. Also, more importantly, learn how to use a compass. You don't need anything super fancy, something as simple as this that you can get at any outfitter, at REI. You can even get these at Walmart. The second item is sun protection. That includes taking things like sunscreen, sunglasses, and a hat. Number three is insulation. Insulation includes everything from, say, like a jacket, and it can be either down or it can be a synthetic. Another insulation layer item that you would want to have is a rain jacket to help keep you out of the rain or for wind. Another insulation item is toboggan or a hat. This is going to be really weird on top of this thing I'm wearing. Okay, this is now I look like an elf. You lose a lot of heat from your head, so this will help you retain heat. And then as well is a pair of gloves. These are just some inexpensive ones. Now as it becomes colder months, I will carry a thicker pair of gloves with me, even on day hikes. The fourth item is illumination. A headlamp is your best friend for if you get stuck out in the woods at night or if you're hiking in the dark. You can put it on your head and it'll stay and you don't have to use your hands. But if you don't have a headlamp and you can't afford to invest in something like that, just say if you're not going to be hiking regularly and you just kind of want to be able to go on a hike, then just use a regular flashlight will work. Tip on that is to be sure to always carry some extra batteries with you. Fifth item is first aid supplies. So I just carry this tiny little bag, which doesn't look like it has a whole lot in it, but actually you'll be amazed at how much I have in here. I have everything from ibuprofen to multiple sets of band-aids. I have tweezers, clippers, rubber band. I have triple antibiotic ointment. I have Tums. I have aqua tabs to filter water with. I have a roll of duct tape and some other medical items, just in case. So I carry quite a bit in this little tiny bag. Now you can buy pre-made kits that you can use as well. The sixth item is fire. So you want to be able to have items to start a fire if an emergency arose where it's really cold and you need a way to stay warm. So you want to carry something like, say, waterproof matches, or even just a simple Bic lighter, which I think actually works pretty good. But these are good ways to get a fire started. And then you want to have some type of tinder or something that you can have with you to help start a fire. You can buy like these little packets of wet fire. You can get these at like REI or even I think Walmart has these. to carry to help you get that fire not only started, but to let it last long enough to build up a fire. Now granted, you can also make your own tinder with things like cotton ball and Vaseline, and I just recommend that you search for that and find video on how to do that. It's really, really simple, and the really awesome part about that is it's very lightweight and easy to carry. Number 7 is a repair kit and tools. So of course I have part of my repair kit in here. I have duct tape, which works pretty awesome actually. And then I also have on me as well a knife that I can use if I need to cut things or whatever. I have a knife, just a small one. You could also carry a multi-tool, which I actually think is even better because it has a knife and then it just a screwdriver. It has several different items. So I think something like this is really great to carry. This is obviously my husband's. Just in case, you never know. You can MacGyver stuff. Number 8 is nutrition. This is a pretty big one. You should always carry food with you when you go hiking. When it comes to day hiking food, anything, sky's the limit. Carry whatever you want to carry. It's a day hike, so whatever you want to bring to eat, I say bring it. Granted, when I go out for a pretty long day hike, if it's 10 miles or more, I will carry an actual lunch with me. Maybe a sandwich or a tortilla with tuna or something. If you are looking for items to quickly be able to eat that have a lot of calories and are easy to carry, then I recommend things like trail mix. You can get these pre-packaged. Cliff bars are great. Cliff bars, there's RX bars. I mean, there's everything. You've got Laura bars. You can get Kind bars. You can carry multiple of these and still not be carrying a lot of weight. They recommended that you have at least 1 day's extra worth of food. It's better to have too much than not enough. To make carrying food easier, I always carry a gallon size Ziploc bag, and I just put it all in the Ziploc bag. In addition to food, I think it's good to take energy sources or things to help you fuel if you start to feel low. My husband is a type 1 diabetic, so he always has to carry additional sugary type foods to help him quickly increase his blood sugar if he needs it. So we'll carry things like Cliff Blocks. These are really great for giving you quick energy. We'll carry things like electrolyte tablets, salt tablets. These are also very good. And then this is his go-to. If his sugar gets low, he goes straight to these, and these are goos. You don't have to be a diabetic to use these. If you just don't feel like you have a lot of energy, taking one of these, it has 100 calories. Some of these you can get with caffeine and has electrolytes, so it's a really great option, and these weigh nothing. I think this weighs an ounce. Number 9 is hydration. Absolutely hugely important. Always have water with you. Now you can either carry it in something like this, in a Life water bottle, a Smart water bottle. I recommend that if you go out for a hike that you carry at least minimum 1 liter of water, and preferably 2 liters. You can also carry a water bladder, which has a tube that runs from your pack. If that's a lot of money and you're like, I can't afford all that, that's fine. Just get you one of these. They're like $1.50, I think, for this. In addition to that, and this is very important, is you want to have some type of filtration system for water. I highly recommend either something like this Katadyn filter, I think I'm saying that right, or a Sawyer filter. These are great for filtering water while you're on the trail. I love this because it has its own little bag that folds up really small, and this is a liter. So you can just stop, put water in it, and then filter and drink while you're going. So I really love these things. The Sawyers are very popular with thru hikers on the AT. So both work great. The great thing with the Sawyer is it will fit on top of a Smart bottle or a Life water bottle, and you can just drink straight from that as well. Or you can utilize these Aqua Tabs, which I think that's just the brand. Any type of tablets that you put into water to help filter the water. The water won't taste as good with these, I'll just warn you. But whereas something like this, the water tastes really great. I mean, it's better to carry that than to end up sick on the trail. Number 10 is shelter. And when I say shelter, to me, this is more insulation than shelter, but it's considered emergency shelter under the Park Service list. And this here is a space blanket. It's an emergency blanket is what it's called. These cost about $1. They weigh nothing. As you can see, they are very compactable. These are amazing for holding in body heat. And I would recommend carrying 2 of these with you on a hike, so that way you have one to cover your body with if you are to be cold, and you have another one that you could actually use to make sort of like a tarp. So those are the 10 essential items that the National Park Service recommends that you carry, and that I also personally recommend that you carry, just from my own experience and just my own knowledge of the trail. So some items that I also recommend that you carry with you when you go out on a hike, and that's a whistle. I think a whistle is a very important item to have in regards to staying safe on the trail. You can utilize this if you were to need help, or if you were to try to deter wildlife, or even possibly deter another person. It's good to have some way to signal to others that you're in distress. National Park Service says that when you are in distress and you need to send out an SOS signal in the wilderness, you're going to take your whistle and you're going to blow it 3 times. Pause for a minute and then 3 more times, and you're going to continue to do that until someone comes to your rescue. One of the reasons why it's so great to have a whistle is because if you try to yell, your voice does not carry very far. It's not as likely anyone is going to hear you. Plus, your voice will tire after a while if you are trying to scream or yell for help. Whereas a whistle, you can conserve that energy, conserve your breath to be able to signal for help, and it can be heard much, much further away. Another item that I think is good to carry, especially for safety, is bear spray. Bears will bluff charge on occasion, and so having a bear spray is kind of a good way to help sort of deter them from approaching you too close. You just have to keep in mind the safety cautions behind utilizing bear spray. You can only be in like 30 feet from a bear to be able to utilize bear spray, and you have to make sure the wind is blowing in the right direction, because if the wind is blowing your direction towards you and you spray the bear spray, it's going to come up on you. So carrying bear spray not only is good deterrent for wildlife, but it can also be good for another person as well. And my last item that I like to carry with me is a battery charger. And this I utilize for I mainly just use this for my phone. This is very small. This will last 3 days of charges on an iPhone. This is pretty lightweight. It's pretty small, about the size of a candy bar. And it even has this like nifty little pouch if you want to use it or not use it. And you just use your cord with it. But just some tips that I have for you if you're going out for a day hike is to also, if you're going to take your phone with you, is to just go ahead and automatically, you can put that in airplane mode. Because most national parks you're not going to get service, and even if you are, you're going to drain your battery really, really quick if you leave that on, because it's going to constantly be looking for signal. And another tip is that when you're on the trail, utilize that phone or your camera and take a picture of those trail signs. Not only do you take pictures of the signs, but also take a picture of the surrounding area, because as you're hiking, it's easy, especially if you're going to do, say, an out and back, which many hikers do, those type of hikes. If you get out past a certain intersection and then you turn around, a trail can look very different going back the other way. And it's easy to become somewhat confused on which direction you had came from. So if you take a picture, then you can reference really quickly back which direction you came from. Your phone can actually be a good tool if you utilize it smartly to help keep you safe on the trail. First and foremost, before you go out on a hike, is obviously do as much research as possible about the trail that you're going to be hiking on. You want to make sure to know whether any of the trails might be closed, or if there's been bear activity, anything. You want to know as much information as possible. Look at the weather and see how the weather has been. If it's been a lot of rain, are there water crossings? And you have to be mindful of things like that, because if you become in contact with a trail that has a swift moving water crossing, or that's very deep, something as shallow as below the knee, if it's moving quickly enough, it can pull you down, and that current can carry you off and can cause you to drown. So it's important to be knowledgeable about the trail as much as possible. Another tip is, unless you are very knowledgeable using a map and compass, or you're very knowledgeable of an area where you're hiking, is don't hike off trail. Stay on the trail. I know you have leave no trace principles, which tell you to go 200 yards off a trail to use the bathroom. And yes, I do recommend that you do that. But if that means that what you want to try to do is stay within eyesight of the trail. Don't go off so far that you've lost the trail out of your line of vision. If you become lost, if you get to a place and you're like, wow, I have no idea where I'm at, my biggest recommendation for you is to stop. Stop right where you're at. Don't go anywhere. Don't try to go further, and don't turn around yet. Stop right where you're at on the trail. Even have a seat for a moment and think about things. Hopefully you've taken pictures. Hopefully you have a map. You know how to use a compass. And maybe you can assess where your location is and then be able to figure out where you're at from there. If not, if you just feel like you're completely lost and unable to figure out where you're at, stop. Stop where you're at. Sit down and wait for someone to walk by you. If you wait on the trail, most likely someone is going to show up. Alright guys, well my battery is about to die on my camera, and I probably have talked to y'all enough today. So I will put some links below for you to check out, but I do highly recommend that you do your own research, and that foremost, you use common sense. You use good judgment. If something doesn't seem safe or doesn't seem right, listen to your intuition. Do what is reasonable within yourself, and don't be afraid to look like a hiker dork. I do it all the time and I'm totally fine with it. Thank you so much for watching. Hope this video was very helpful to you. If it was and you enjoyed watching it, please give it a thumbs up. If this is your first time seeing one of my videos, please be sure to hit that subscribe button and check out some of my other videos. Until the next time, happy and safe hiking. See you on the trail.